Make it stop! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of What I Sold on eBay last week. Now, the last episode was actually uploaded in March, so this is more what sold on eBay over the last 3 months. Today's drink of the day is G-Subs. Check out GamerSupps and use code HOVA to save some cash. They're already cheaper than G Fuel, and it's not chalky and terrible. I fully stand behind them, and you need to try it. You owe it to yourself. It's delicious stuff. Anyways, so now having said that, it is the last 3 months of sales, but I kind of went through and cherry picked, you know, some of the highlights, obviously, because you know, there was way too much. It would have been an hour and a half long video. So anyways, let's get right into it. I'm really going to try to do probably weekly episodes Thursdays for what sold on eBay last week. So let's get right into it. So here we have the Simpsons Sing Blues, Lion King soundtrack, and the Aladdin soundtrack. Any soundtracks I find on VHS or CD, I try to pick up, and then, you know, you can just lock together some Disney ones and stuff like that. And this sold for $14.99 plus shipping. Not too bad. I probably had, you know, a quarter into each one, or, you know, something around there. A vintage Plano tackle box. This tackle box was actually really nice, in really good condition for as old as it was. And I think I picked it up for $5, and it sold for $38 plus shipping. So I've been very happy with that. I've been doing really well on vintage tackle boxes and vintage toolboxes. If I can find them for cheap enough, I pick them up. You guys might remember this. I posted this on my Instagram, and I think I showed it in a sourcing video. I got, oh, man, how much did I spend on this? I would have to go back to the video I put up. I want to say I spent, I want to say I spent like 20 or 30. I think I spent 30. That number's sticking out for me for some reason. But I got this at the Salvation Army. Let's say we got it for $30, and I remember getting a bunch of other stuff in that same shopping trip, and I talked them down a little bit on this, and basically my total ended up being $30. So I basically like bought the chessboard and got some other stuff for free. I wasn't really sure how this was going to go, and I knew it was going to be a heavy ship, a big ship, but it ended up actually selling fairly quickly. Again, $30 turned it into $150. Now, it was a free ship. It probably cost me, I would say, $20 to $30 to ship it out. But overall, a very good flip on that. It was a really cool piece. I spent a lot of time, though, cleaning it up. All the texture, there's thick, deep grooves and stuff in that border around the chessboard. And I really had to spend a lot of time getting all the dust. I cleaned it up with like some Clorox spray or something, I can't remember, and just scrubbed with a toothbrush all the way around, and then I had to dry it and dust it, and it was kind of a pain, but it was worth the money. The camera lot that you guys might remember, I bought a huge lot of camera stuff from somebody that I found on Facebook, and I've been selling that stuff pretty well. I haven't even listed all of it. I listed most of it, but it's been selling here and there, and I've been doing pretty good with it. I think I've at least made my money back, if not seen some profit already. You'll see a few things in this video. So this was a Canon lens, 200 millimeter, $44.95, free ship. Then we got some manga here. The manga really popped off during the lockdown. You know, a lot of people staying inside, playing video games, reading books, and a lot of the manga sold, I believe, you know, because of that. So this sold for $109.99, free ship. And if you guys remember, I'm sure I mentioned this in a sourcing video. When I got these, I got them for $1 each. They were trying to sell sets of like 3 and 4 of them for like, you know, $12 to $15 at an at a Goodwill that I stumbled into in Texas while we were visiting my girlfriend's parents. And, you know, I was like, dude, it's going to take, they had like 3 shelves full of this stuff. And I was like, you're going to try to sell this. It's going to take you years to sell this stuff at this price. I said, I'll take it all from you right now for $1 a piece. And she was like, all right. So this set of 21, I had $21 into it, made $109.99. Free ship, media mail, cost me nothing to ship it. I've been killing it on the manga. Some audio cassettes, Religious Kenneth Copeland Ministries. I got a whole box of this stuff. I don't remember how much but not. I didn't have much into it, and I sold this set for $89.99, and this was just one of the things in the box, so that was a good flip. Some more manga here. I picked out a few of the sets of manga, and I didn't even include a lot of them. Some of the smaller 2 or 3 books or whatever still go for like 15 to 20 bucks. This is only a set of 6, and it actually went for $44.95. So this is a very good set. That's a bolo right there. VB Rose. Check that out. If you see it and it's cheap, buy it. Derek Thomas vintage pin. They also have magnets on the back. My mom stumbled across these at a thrift store a while back, and she got a lot of them. She got probably like 50 of them or something like that. I think she kept a little bit and then gave them to me. I kept a couple, and then I listed the rest on eBay. And I think this was the first one that's actually sold. Oh no, wait, 3 sold. Okay, so 17 available, 3 sold. I guess it wasn't 50, but because I didn't keep that many. But yeah, so there's some pretty cool vintage Derek Thomas pins. If any of you guys are Chiefs fans, there's still 17 of those available. The Harley Davidson flip, you guys remember this? I got a whole bunch of free Harley Davidson. There's a video. You guys can scroll through the Hova Flips playlist and find it if you're interested. Basically, I bought a Razor ATV from a Harley Davidson dealership, a local one, and they called me and said that they were having like a sale, and during the sale, your points are double or something. And I was like, what points are you talking about? And apparently I had a balance of like, what was it, $300, $500, something like that. I had a balance of like these points that you get, reward points for spending money in the store. You get points that you can then spend on stuff in the store. And I didn't realize I had that balance. So I went in there during the sale, bought a bunch of their clearance stuff, their new hats and stuff like this, some patches, and so I got all this stuff for free. And Harley Davidson stuff sells for big money. So I've been doing really well on that. $30 for that hat, free ship. I included this because I put up the video, I made a lot of money selling weights whenever the lockdown happened and they shut down all of the gyms, or not all of them, but most gyms got shut down, and so weights were in high demand, and this dumbbell set sold for $198.99. You can see I sold 2 of those. There was a Bowflex. There was a Bowflex set that I was selling for $600. That actually might still be in here somewhere. I'll have to show you. I sold like 4 or 5 of those, and I think I bought this set for $50, sold it for $200. Now, obviously, shipping on this was not cheap. My profit margin on most of the weights was fairly small, but when you sell the quantity that I did, it was pretty good money, obviously. So, but I spared you guys on that. Like I said, I only highlighted that one or maybe one more because it's not very, I sold like probably 100 sets of dumbbells, and you guys don't want to see all that. Especially, like I said, I was profiting like, $5 per set of dumbbell, $10, $15 at the most. So anyways, Canon zoom lens is another one of those camera lot sales. $54.95 for that lens. If you guys need camera equipment, I still have some stuff listed. I know nothing about it. I just copied all the information off the lens and listed it. And I try to aggressively list it, meaning under what other people have it listed for. So if you're looking for any of that stuff. Another thing during the lockdown that was doing really well, everybody in their Zoom meetings and stuff for work, webcams went through the roof. Luckily, I live in a community where stuff like this doesn't sell out as quickly as it does in bigger cities. So I was able to go in and find some Razer Kaio cameras. These things retail for, I think, $89.99, and I was selling them for $140. Again, I aggressively price 99.9% of the stuff that I sell. So I was probably looking at it. People were selling them for $145, $150. I came in just under the mark, selling them quick. Still made some, decent chunk of change after my fees and my shipping. And I sold 3 of those, like in the same day. Got this rock tumbler, I think, for $5 at Open Door. Sold it for $59.99, free ship. Decent little flip there. Got this Daisy air gun pistol. I just thought it was really cool to see this thing still in the box with the manual and everything. Really cool. I think I had one of these when I was younger. And air guns are totally fine to sell on eBay. And I actually got this from the lady with the camera lot. This was one of the throw-ins that I got whenever I bought all that stuff from her. So $52.99 plus shipping. So basically $60 there. And I think I got it for like 10. So This was another thing that I got from the lady. And the camera by 6502 Assembly Language Programming, some sort of coding book. I don't even know. She was selling a bunch of this old PC programming books and stuff like this. And this happened to be the first one I looked up, and I saw that they were selling for 20 to 30 bucks. And I think I paid like $4 or $5 for this big bundle of like PC programming books and some other stuff that she had. So did well on that. Rex Stout Nero Wolf paperbacks, lot of 25 and one hardback. I don't remember where I got these, but if I see anything at a yard sale, estate sale, thrift store, anything like that, and it's all, if I see a whole bunch of the same name, Rex Stout like that, I'll make an offer on the whole lot, because usually big lots of books, especially if you have a complete set, obviously, but even if you just have a lot from the same author, they do well on eBay. As you can see here, I got $70 out of them, free shipping. Again, media mail shipping on books is super cheap, even if it's a few pounds, which I'm sure this was. So I probably had, I would be shocked if I had $20 into that, sold it for 70. So pretty good flip. I got this at a yard sale last summer. I think I paid a couple bucks for it. No. I'm wrong. I'm thinking about a NASCAR Jeff Gordon jacket that I had. This came from the Salvation Army, and I think I paid up for this a little bit. I think I paid like $15. But I found it. It was in really good shape. And I looked it up. I could tell it was vintage. And whenever I looked it up, I saw some really good solds, and I could just tell that it was something that, I was going to pay a little bit more for, but it would probably pay off in the end. And it did, $54.95 free ship. So probably cost me $10 at the most to ship that. So some Levi's patches. These are some iron-ons and stitch-ons. I don't know if both of these are iron-ons. I don't know. But no, both. Yeah, both are iron-on. These came from my grandma's. My grandma had a store back in the 90s. She had a whole bunch of new old stock in her basement after she passed, and this is some. I actually have some more of these listed. The person messaged me and they wanted only these two, so I separated them, reduced the price on that lot, and sold these two for $15 free ship. So thank you, Grandma. This is a vintage toolbox, Craftsman, Sears Craftsman toolbox. I thought it was in pretty good shape, so I went ahead and picked it up. I think I paid $5 for it or something like that, and sold it for $40 plus shipping. So pretty good flip there. The Warriors come out to play, yay! On Xbox, pretty collectible Bolo game. This is actually by Rockstar, and I've never played this. I want to play this. I've never played this, and I've never played Bully. And I know those are two pretty popular titles from Rockstar that I have never tried out. I need to try those one day. But $17.99 free ship. Some Cincy testers. I got these, I believe, on a Facebook auction, and I paid up a little bit because there were some other people bidding. I think I paid like $20 or maybe even $30, which is more than I like to spend on most stuff that I sell, but it did sell for $90 free ship. Probably cost me $15, something like that to sell. So after fees and shipping and what I had into it, I didn't make the most money, but as you can see, they do have some value. But everybody has a pretty general good idea that, Cincy stuff has value, so it's hard to find Cincy stuff at a decent price. A PS2 Slim White. I didn't even know these existed until recently. I saw the first one in a pawn shop like a year ago, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Ran across this one on a Facebook buy. I think I got like 3 PS2s and a Dreamcast and something else, for like 30 or 40 bucks, something like that. And but it was listed like they didn't have cords for it and stuff, so they didn't know what was working and what wasn't. And I, found all the cords for it and hooked it up. Worked well. I had to clean the crap out of it. It was kind of stained and nasty, but man, these things are just super cool. Like if I had any use to have a PS2 Slim, I would definitely have a white one just because they're so unique. I think they're really cool. $90 plus shipping on that. This is a Kenwood, right? Yeah, Kenwood KA405 stereo amplifier. I found this at an estate sale. I want to say I paid like $20, maybe $30, something like that. And as you can see, these things are highly valuable. $249.95 free ship. Now again, this is probably something cost me 15. These things are very heavy, pretty big too. Probably cost me 15-20 bucks to ship it, so I was into it for like 50 altogether plus the fees, but I still went home with quite a bit of profit on that. Very happy with that sale. And that was one I was really nervous about. To me, it seemed, I hooked up some speakers to it and stuff like that, and tested it to the best of my ability, but my knowledge is limited on things like this. So I was, after it sold, I was just like, oh, please, I don't want to get a message and hear that it's not working, or this isn't working right or something, because I just don't know enough about it. I never heard anything again. So apparently they were happy with that purchase, and that was a good little flip. A Nintendo Wii, still in the box with a couple of games bundled together, the whole shablam. Got $99.99 free ship. I don't know how much I would have been into that, but I'm sure it wasn't much. This is actually really cool. This was a part of that big camera lot that I bought. And whenever I sent pictures to my buddies who also flip on eBay, one of them happens to be a guy that used to fabricate his own, model lightsabers and sell them. And he's like, hey, send me closer pictures of those flash tubes and camera flash holders and stuff. And I was like, okay. And I did that, and he was like, that one right there, he's like, that's Luke Vader. That's Luke Vader. What am I saying? Luke and Darth Vader, I guess, both had the same. I don't know. It's a Star Wars. It's a highly sought after piece of camera equipment because it looks like the saber actually used in the movie. Or maybe it was actually one of these that they used to make the original sabers in the movie. I'm not exactly sure on it. But he was like, hey, that one's got some value. So I was really happy with that, because otherwise these things, don't really have that much value. But $49.99 free ship, and the guy that bought it actually did leave feedback, and he was like, I can't wait to start building, my saber out of this. And so yeah, that was cool. These were some Dollar General retail arbitrage that we did last year after spring. They ran all their spring stuff 50% off. And so I think I had $5 into each one of these, so $30 I had into these, and I sold the set for $99.99 plus shipping. I was happy to see these go, because most of the stuff, I bought a lot of this stuff last year and not much of it sold initially, and I was like, man, maybe that was a bad buy, but a little bit I've started selling this spring/summer. So I think I'm going to do all right on that eventually. It's just taking longer to sell than I expected. So this open sign actually came from the same estate sale that I got that Kenwood amplifier. This I think I got this for, again, like 20 or 30 bucks, something like that. Nothing super cheap and crazy profit. But I did sell it for 100 bucks plus shipping. When they got it, the N or the E, one of the letters wasn't working as bright as it did whenever I tested it. So I think I did send them some sort of a partial refund, but they wanted to keep it. They were just kind of letting me know that it might have gotten damaged in transit a little bit. So 100 bucks plus shipping, not bad. These guys, you guys might remember in an old video, I was heading into town one day and I saw a post on Facebook that there was just a bunch of free stuff. It was just like multiple boxes of free stuff. Just come pick it up. And it was in the area that I live. So I swung by on the way into work and picked it all up. And there's like, how many do I have 14. So I originally had 15 lists. I think I have even more that I just did that for now. But I looked these up, and these things are selling for like $200, $250, I think, even maybe on Amazon. I don't mess with reselling on Amazon. There wasn't much history on eBay at all, but I went ahead and listed them for $60 free ship. They are really, really heavy, but I think I put it in a PFRE or something. I can't remember how I shipped it, but basically I got this whole box of these things for free. They're like some sort of magnetic door closer things. I don't even know. But yeah, I actually sold one, which was cool because I didn't know if I ever would. Maybe it'll take 5 years, but again, they're all profit because they were absolutely free. So NBA World Champions 1991 through 93 hat. I thought this hat was really cool. This was a part of a big bulk buy. I got a giant box full of hats for like $5 or $10 because half of them were like eaten by rats, and I had to clean out the entire box, I threw away about half the hats that were in there. There was still about 150 hats probably, and some really cool stuff like this that I pulled out. So I've been doing really, really well on that hat buy, just slowly and surely ever since. But this hat sold for $30 plus shipping, and then actually this one sold the same day or the next day, and I expected it to be like the same. It was the same day because I was like, oh, it's probably the same buyer. Got two vintage Chicago Bull hats. I really like this one, just like the full red. that classic logo. That's what I remember the Bulls stuff looking like when I was a kid, and I had some buddies that were into it. But this one sold for $20 plus shipping, so good little flip there. It's funny, this is actually the second set of these Ninja Turtle bowls that I've sold. I've seen a lot of people sell these. Usually people don't have full sets. They'll have like 3 or 4 of, oh god, I don't know the names, like Donatello or Raphael or whatever, or they'll just have 1 or they'll have 2 that are different. Most people don't have the full set of 4, and I've actually sold 2 of these sets now, which is pretty funny. But $60 plus shipping on top, not a bad flip. I think I got those for 20 bucks at the most. The first set I got for way less than that, so I've made good money off Ninja Turtle bowls. This is some Husqvarna wheeled trimmer line, some like weed eater line, I guess, basically. I found these on this was during the lockdown, whenever I was not being able to yard sale or anything to source. And I found these on the clearance rack at Lowe's, and I think they were like $1.25 a piece or something like that. And I looked them up and I was like, yeah, I think I can make something work there. And I sold sets of 3. I actually sold 4 of these sets. They sold very quickly. I think I sold them all within a week. So altogether, you know, I had, what would that been, like $2.50? We'll say just over, we'll say $4. I had like 15 bucks into all of them that I bought, and I got $100 out of them minus shipping and fees. So pretty good flip on those. I was happy with that. It sold quick. I had a feeling, you know, going into the summer, everybody needing stuff like that they probably would. Another one of the cameras from that huge camera lot that I got, again, this is a Canon AE1. It came with a flash and a lens and, you know, manuals. $124.99 plus shipping. This is a under cabinet mounted can opener that I got at the Salvation Army. No, I think I got this one at Open Door. I think for $5, and sold it for $60 free ship. I had lots of messages about this. People asking me questions about it. They were like, does it work? I'm like, it's brand new. It's still in the packaging. Like, you could tell, you know, it's still in the bag, so I wasn't going to take it out and try to hook it up. And then I had other people asking if I'd take less, and I was like, no, because people were selling them for around this price, not even being brand new or in the box. So I stayed firm, and then sure enough, it did sell. So I was happy with that. $5 into 60, not bad. These little guys, I sold 2 of these, as you can see. So these are Chiefs headbands that they handed out going into one of the games. I don't remember which game it was, but they handed out like 50,000 of them to the first 50,000 people that walked into Arrowhead that day. I had season tickets, so there was only like 2 games that I didn't go to, I think, something like that, not very many. And, you know, I was like, headband, I'm not really excited about this, so I just left it in the package. It ended up coming home with 2 or 3 of them. I think my girlfriend might have opened one, and then I saw one of them sold for like $60 on eBay. I just happened to look it up, and, you know, like after the Super Bowl, and one of them sold for like $60. So I was like, holy crap. So I listed the 2 that we had that were still in the package for $34.99, and they both sold, which is awesome because, like I said, they were just given to us for free. So that basically paid for some parking for, you know, next season. You know what I mean? So 1986 Coca-Cola 100th anniversary wall thermometer. This was at the Open Door. My girlfriend and I walked in, and I remember because I walked right by it and I didn't see it, and she looked at me like, ha. She always gets so happy whenever she catches me slipping. She finds some stuff that I missed, and inevitably, pretty much anytime her and I go out to look and source for stuff, she'll end up finding something that I missed. And I totally missed this. And Coca-Cola, you know, obviously I would have immediately picked it up. She turned it around, and they actually wrote on the inside, which is annoying. I hate when they do this, but $1. And we were like, what? You can tell this is like an actual vintage Coca-Cola thermometer. They only wanted $1 for it, which is really surprising. Did have some paint splatter on the outside, some scuffs and stuff like that. I didn't want to try to use like a magic eraser or anything like that to try to get the paint off, because that'll scratch up the plastic. I think it was actual glass, but regardless, it'll scratch up the front and make it all scuffy looking. So just listed it as is. Now I do think I initially listed it for like $125, and I kept bringing the price down and sending out offers and stuff like that. And eventually it sold for $75 plus shipping. Took a lot longer to sell than I expected it to, but from $1 to $75, Very happy with that. SimCity 2000, I actually found this. I thought it was kind of funny. It was mixed into the puzzles and board games at the open door. I don't think they had any idea what it was. But this is SimCity 2000 on floppy disks for IBM computers, DOS version. And so I went ahead and, I looked it up first because I was like, well, maybe there's like 4 discs and I only have 2 of them. But no, there's only 2 discs, and it looked, it's basically complete in box, which is pretty crazy. What's the year on this? I remember it's 1993 complete. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, $44.95. I think I paid 50 cents or $1 for it. So another really, really good flip there. Some eggs, man. So with the lockdown and everything, obviously this year, not many people celebrated Easter. So I happened to be in Walmart one day and I noticed that all of the Easter items, everybody knows at Walmart, literally the day after, 4th of July, Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever, all the seasonal stuff, they mark it down 50%, and then the longer it sits, the more they'll mark it down. And every store does it a little bit different, but I've hardly ever seen stuff over 75% off on the seasonal stuff. Usually it's gone by then. Even the 50% stuff, I mean, that stuff gets sold quick. But this stuff was 95% off. It was either 90 or 95, and I saw that big sign for that much off, and I was like, okay, well, I gotta check this out, So I think these came out to like 10 cents a piece, these packs of eggs, and they had all kinds of different eggs and everything. But I thought, well, I'll pick up some of these camouflage ones and kind of see what happens. And much to my surprise, both of the sets that I sold, or that I listed, sold to the same seller. So I got $23 a set. So 30 cents into $23, and then the second set, so 60 cents, less than $1. I got almost 50 bucks out of it. Was very, very happy with that. I also got some pink camouflage eggs, and those are listed. They have not sold yet, but I expected, I went ahead and listed them because I wasn't sourcing. I didn't have anything else to do. I went ahead and listed them. Didn't expect them to sell until next year. Not even sure if they would sell at all. And yeah, it was like a few weeks later, they both sold. I was like, what? So I guess maybe somebody just had like a late Easter celebration or something and wanted some camo eggs. I don't know. You guys might remember this. I got a bunch of Taz t-shirts and a bunch of vintage band t-shirts. Now these were higher than what I normally pay for t-shirts. All the shirts at this sale were $3 a piece, which is a little bit pricey. But one of the first things I saw was a Motley Crue t-shirt on the top of the stack. There's a giant table full of t-shirts, Motley Crue on the top, and I was like, ooh, okay, these might be worth $3 a piece. And it wasn't just like a Spencer's or whatever current modern Motley Crue shirt. It was like a tour from the 80s Motley Crue band tee. So I started digging, and I ended up coming home with I think 20 to 30 vintage band t-shirts and these 1990s Warner Brothers, what are these called? Ice or something like that? Freeze New York all over print Taz shirts, and they've been selling for really, really good money. So $42.99 plus shipping on this Taz shirt. I think I have one more of those Taz shirts. Most of them have sold. Got this at a yard sale last year. It actually ended up being I remember this was like a guy, it was a friend of mine that I hung out with when I was in like first grade, and I remember I recognized his mom. I was standing there in her garage. I was like, do you know? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I used to come over to your all's house when I was like 8 and play, And anyways, they had these vintage Ninja Turtle Halloween decorations, and I think I got them all for like, a couple bucks, nothing big. And, just kind of had a hunch about them. I thought they were cool, and sure enough, they sold for $30 for the set. So I was pretty happy with that. Good flip. This was actually this summer. I stopped at a yard sale of, it actually was the manager of our GameStop. I recognized her whenever I got out, and was buying, I got those Rock Band sets, if you guys remember those. And I was like going to pay, and right there next to where we were standing when I was getting my money out, I saw a VCR combo sitting there. I didn't even, if I see a combo, I don't even look necessarily what brand it is or what model or if it's a recorder or not. I didn't even notice it was a DVD recorder. And I was like, what do you got on the VCR? And they were like, make an offer. And I was like, $2. And they were like, okay, as long as I can get it for a couple bucks, I don't really care. I don't look at it. The worst I've seen on VCR combos is usually like $20 plus shipping, so it's a pretty safe bet at a couple dollars just to go ahead and get it. What I didn't notice is on the back, it's got HDMI out. So this is a very sought after. This is a Magnavox DVD recorder, but it also has HDMI upscaling. So whenever I looked up the model number, I was very surprised to see that these guys go for $200, in the range of $200. If you have a remote for this thing, it can go for even more. So I was very, very happy with that find. $2 to $200 sold within a week. Very excited about that. Good flip. Some more manga. Wallflower, $109.99. Again, you guys know I had $1 into each one of those books, so a very good flip on that. Another really good find here. I think I bought this for $20 at the Salvation Army. Looked up Brother, 1034D. This is not a sewing machine. It's a serger, whatever that is. Or I guess it is a sewing machine, but it's serger, something special. I don't know. It holds like spindles of 3 or 4 other threads, and I guess it like mixes the colors or something. I don't know. But it was all there. I hooked it up, tested it. Everything worked fine as far as I know. I know nothing about sewing machines. And sold it for $300. Free ship. And it sold like within a week. So another really, really good flip there. These guys was one of those things that I saw them, didn't think much about it, just kind of kept walking. I had kind of given up on... at the time, I remember I wasn't really messing with plush stuffed animals anymore. Because I had picked up a few things along the line of my early days in yard selling, thinking, oh yeah, these are probably going to be worth something, and then none of them ended up really being worth anything. So I just kind of saw them, kept walking. My girlfriend took the time to find a tag or a brand or whatever and look them up, and sure enough, they were worth a little bit of money. Now I will say individually these only go for like $20. They're kind of lackluster, but for some reason if you have a set, I guess that just having a set is pretty rare. Or maybe one of the individual ones that I had was rare. I can't remember exactly here, but because I was just recently looking at these and I was like, man, those have been listed for a while. Maybe I need to bring them down a little bit. Somebody sent me a message and they were like, when you press Pooh's tummy, oh, that's another thing. I had to rip the battery packs out of it. Every one of these, replace the batteries, make sure they worked. One of them, I think like Tigger, I had a hell of a time getting the battery pack out of his back, but I finally got it. They were all working. Anyway, somebody sent me a message. They were like, when you press Pooh's tummy, does he sing the up, down, touch the ground, toes, something? I don't know. And I was like, yes. I went out and tested it because I didn't remember. And I told them yes. And then right after that, they purchased $129.99 free ship. So it was $4 into it, $130 in the bank. Well, after fees and all that stuff. But Ring Fit Adventure. I just picked this up a couple days ago for $69.99, and I literally took this picture in the bed of my truck, you can tell, and listed it, and it sold within 5 minutes for $108.99. So after fees, after shipping, I literally probably only profited, $15 or something. But free money essentially. It was effortless. And at the same time, at the same Walmart, they had these Lego Speed Champion sets, Audi Sport Quattro S1. These were, I saw on the clearance sticker, they were normally $19.99 or $24.97 or something like that, and they were marked down to $5 on the clearance aisle. They had 3 of them. I went ahead and scooped all 3 of them up, and like I said, that was a couple days ago. All 3 have already sold. So I walked into Walmart just to kill time because my girlfriend was doing a job interview, and I spent, $70 plus $15. So I spent $85, and I generated about $185 in sales in just a few days. So again, after fees and shipping, not huge profit. I actually made more off of the Lego sets, I think, than I did the Ring Fit. But just free money essentially. Easy listings, sold immediately, easy ships, no big deal. And the last thing here, I actually got this at a yard sale just a couple weekends ago. We were about to, walk over, and we had finished looking around, and I was going to pay for everything I had found. And I saw a stack of these laying on a tarp, and there was a sign on the tarp that said free, so everything on the tarp was free, and I just picked them up, and I thought, well, we'll see. On the back, they did have CD key, or serial keys, whatever you want to call it. So I had a feeling, whether the discs worked or not, the keys were probably worth something. I saw people selling them for anywhere from like $5 to $15 a piece. And so I just decided, I'm not going to mess with listing them individually. I just lotted them all up. Sold them for $39.99 almost immediately. $40 free ship. They cost me nothing to ship, and they were free. So, you know, I put like $30 in my account. Easy peasy. So anyways, guys, that is it. That's about 35 minutes of what sold in the last 3 months. Again, I'm going to try to keep up with the what sold on eBay videos every Thursday from here on out. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I love you. And never stop hustling.